Hi, Joe from footballbiz.co.uk, and today we're comparing Adidas Football's ACE15 range. With the release of the ACE15 Plus Primeknit, Adidas now offer professional 3-boot options. So the ACE15 is Adidas's control boot, the boot which essentially replaced the Predator range. You'll see several goalkeepers, defenders and central midfielders laced up in the new Ace. So each Ace will offer the wearer with a different fit and feel, so I'm here to help you guys out and clearly differentiate the differences between the 3 boots. If you are a player who wants to buy the Ace but not sure which one to get, you should definitely find out by the end of this video. So what is each boot designed for? The standard Ace is what you'd see most players wearing. The Ace Leather is a leather option, and the ACE15 Plus Primeknit is sort of a combination of the leather and the synthetic combined. Essentially, who you will see wearing this boot is James Rodriguez, Mats Hummels and Oscar. The leather edition will be worn by Philipp Lahm, Alonso, Schneiderlin and Daley Blind. And the Ace will be worn by the likes of Manuel Neuer, Mesut Ozil, Ivan Rakitic, Petr Cech, Phil Jones, Nemanja Matic and David De Gea, who recently signed for Adidas. So essentially the 3 boots are worn heavily by Adidas players, and it's pretty much spread across evenly. The ACE15 Plus Primeknit is probably the more favoured boot by professionals these days. Then it would probably be the ACE15. Then a handful of players actually still wear the ACE15 leather. So all of these 3 boots are heavily worn by Adidas contracted players. So in terms of fit, as you may not be aware of, the ACE15 is a wide fit. So essentially it's going to fit most wide-footed players. So any foot types really. The standard ACE15 proved that. And the ACE15 leather will fit wide-footed players, and it will provide that extra bit of room in the forefoot and toe box because it is leather. It will stretch a little over time. And the ACE15 Plus Primeknit is sort of a combination of the leather and the Ace together. It is synthetic and it will stretch a little but not too much, and it's going to be very wide fitting. The compression tongue will make it a bit more snug, but get into that later. In terms of sizing, true to size is the way to go with the standard Ace and the ACE15, whereas the ACE15 Plus Primeknit will fit long. So essentially you could go half a size or even a whole size down. I would recommend going half a size down from your natural true size for a really true fit in the ACE15 Plus Primeknit. That's one of the key things to remember with the ACE15 Plus Primeknit. So in terms of design, this is just a personal opinion, and essentially I love the design of the ACE15 standard edition. The leather, pretty much the same colorways, designs. At 3 stripes roll under the sole on all of these boots. Sort of a 2-tone color scheme, as you can see on the ACE15 Plus Primeknit. White Adidas stripes roll under the sole, real classic sort of Predator Mania-esque. So big block colors on the back of the back of the boot, and sort of a red on the front. This is the colorway. It's sort of bold orange. I'm a fan of all these colorways, but in terms of the design, really classic design by Adidas, and I'm a big fan of all these 3 boots. So what do we have on the uppers? The ACE15 uses total skin and a control web on the touch zones of the boot, which in hand is very soft, but it's got some sort of stiffness to it. It's not the softest synthetic uppers on the market. If we go to the leather edition, it's got K leather from this seam around to the other side. Essentially it's K leather, so it's the highest grade of leather you can get on the market, and it's, as you may be aware, if you've worn a Tempo Legend or 11 Pro in the past, it's going to provide a really natural touch on the ball, just like any other leather boot would do on the market. So it's going to be really good for a really natural, sort of traditional feel inside these boots. Whereas the Primeknit obviously has a Primeknit upper from this seam around to the other side. So it's a woven material, synthetic, very high quality. So it's one of the highest qualities uppers I've ever seen by Adidas. And in hand, it's very soft. It's definitely softer than the leather you see on the leather edition and the total skin. So it's probably the softest upper of the 3. And essentially it's a combination of leather and synthetics in one. And it's going to combine the benefits of leather and synthetics. It's going to be really, really comfortable over time. And your feet should easily mold into these boots. So what do we have in terms of tongues? The standard ACE15 has the total skin and control web tongue. It's quite stiff, just holding it like this. It's probably the stiffest tongue of the 3. The leather edition has a leather tongue up to here, then it's synthetic. Again, it's a leather, it's going to be much more comfortable inside the boots, and It's going to provide a much more natural touch on the ball on top of your laces. And the ACE15 Primeknit has the most sort of unique and intricate tongues. It's a sort of very fabricated, lightweight, flexible mesh material, and as you can see, it interlaces every section. So it's going to compress down on the midfoot a lot more than what the standard Ace and Ace leather editions would. So in my opinion, this is the best tongue of the three. The quality is there and it just interlaces. It's going to provide a much more snug experience in the midfoot. So what about control and touch? So essentially the standard ACE15 will provide the most sort of synthetic barefoot feel. Essentially it's going to provide a really like ping off the ball. It's the most synthetic boot of the three. The Ace leather, as I said before, will provide a really natural and soft touch on the ball. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm a big fan of how leather boots sort of react when you touch and control the ball. And the ACE15 Primeknit is essentially a combination of the two. Yes, it is synthetic, but it will act like leather, so you're going to get a really sort of soft and sort of compressed touch on the ball. It's going to be really good for controlling the ball. Players like Mesut, Ozil and Ivan Rakitic would love this boot. So in terms of textures on the upper, NSG non-stop grip is Adidas's new technology. It's on the X, it's on the Ace, and the standard Ace has it on top of the control web. It's just to help provide extra bit of control and touch in both wet and dry conditions, similar to Nike's all conditions control technologies. Yeah, and the standard ACE15 has it. Again, the Ace leather does not have it whatsoever. It does feature on the heel area, which doesn't really make sense in my eyes, but it's not featured on the leather. You can't apply NSG onto the leather, so that is one minor downfall of the leather edition. And yes, the compressed 15 Primeknit does have it, and it has it just on this area of the touch zones of the boots. So yes, the synthetic boots have NSG where the leather boots don't, or the leather one does, but just on the heel. So in terms of the sole plates, this is the most obvious similarity between the three. They are all exactly the same, all got that total control stud configuration. It's about 44 studs I counted on each of the sole plates, so 4 on the heel and 6 main ones on the forefoot. It's really designed for use on both firm ground and artificial ground surfaces, a great thing to have on any modern day football boot, and essentially it's going to provide that extra bit of underfoot control. So if you'd like to do rollovers and trap with your sole, it'd be great for that. But essentially it's designed for use on both firm ground and artificial ground surfaces. So in terms of weight, the ACE15 is the lightest boot. It's the most synthetic boot of the three. It weighs 252 grams, a relatively decent weight for a sort of controlled boot. The Ace leather is 269 grams, so roughly 20 grams heavier than the synthetic edition. Again, a leather boot which weighs 270 grams is relatively decent. And the ACE15 Primeknit is 2 grams less than the leather edition at 267 grams. So like I said before, the ACE15 Primeknit is a sort of combination of the leather and the synthetic boot in one, and the weight sort of like explains that. So that is my quick comparison of the three boots. So essentially, to sum up, the ACE15 is the most synthetic boot of the three. It's the lightest boot, and it's going to provide the most sort of synthetic feel in the boot. In terms of durability, you're not going to have any problems in terms of water uptake or anything. With the Ace leather, it's going to provide the most natural touch on the ball. It's one of the best leather boots on the market, and essentially in terms of durability, it's going to have the water uptake, so you're going to have to take care of this leather, applying dubbing and all that. Yeah, and essentially it's going to provide the most natural touch on the ball, and in my eyes it's probably going to be the most comfortable. With the ACE15 Primeknit, in my eyes, is the highest quality boot of the three. It's a synthetic boot overall, but it acts like a leather boot, sort of a combination of the synthetic and leather boot in one. And in my eyes, I would definitely choose this over the three boots, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, that is my comparison of the three Ace boots. Both all good for wide feet, and in terms of sizing, true to size, and half a size down is definitely the sizing I'd go for these three Ace boots. So what Ace boot would you choose? Please leave us a comment in the sections below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you've not done so already. Most of you guys have, so thanks for that. And please give this video a like if we helped you out, so if you can decide which Ace boot you want to buy. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.
Bye.